49er fans, it's about that time. 5 o'clock. Faithful Niner Empire. What's good? You know who it is. It's your boy, Jay in the Bay. How's everyone doing on a Sunday night? Now, I can tell you guys, I appreciate everyone coming through. Appreciate everyone liking, subscribing to the channel, Jay in the Bay. I appreciate everyone who follows me on IG and Twitter. But I got to say, after Roger Goodell made that selection when he walked up to the podium, with the third overall pick in the 2021 NFL draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Trey Lance, it was just a sense. I can't be the only one, right? It was a sense of relief that Shanahan saw what we saw, faithful. It was clear to see that Trey Lance, was the more dynamic player than Mac Jones. It was clear that he had a higher ceiling. It was clear that he could do more in the pocket, could make off-schedule plays and things of that nature. So what do you guys think of Trey Lance? What do you guys think of the draft? And, of course, this show is all about the fans. Let me know what you guys think of Trey Lance. Were some of you disappointed that we didn't get Justin Fields? And this show is all about the fans. I want to see you guys up in the comment section. And thanks for rocking with your boy. Make sure you leave a like for the stream. Now, it looks like Niners All Day had the first comment, and he says, we can still get undrafted free agents. We're good guys. We can get a wide receiver and some more corners. And what young rookie would not want to be a Niner? We are okay, guys. Yeah. It's funny you mentioned that, Niners All Day. And what's good? Thanks for coming through to the stream. Thanks for being the first person that leaves a comment. But, John Lynch had an excellent draft. There was just one position. There's just one position that, we didn't draft. That was a wide receiver position. I was surprised that we did not get a wide receiver. I don't know how you guys feel, but I'm not. I think our wide receiver core is solid. I think it could definitely be better. I think we could definitely have another veteran wide receiver that would definitely benefit the younger receivers. I know we drafted Jalen Hurd 2 years ago. He had that back injury, and that pretty much ended his entire rookie season. We also have Juwan Jennings. His rookie year last year, he was hurt the entire year. So he didn't make any impact. So that's definitely a position of need. I know we picked up Mohamed Sanu, but what else does he have left in the tank? So that was definitely surprising to me that we didn't get a wide receiver. And what else was surprising was in the second round where we traded down. Asante Samuel was there. And obviously we know that cornerback is an area of need for us. We got to get younger at the cornerback position. And I was surprised we traded down because we could have got Asante Samuel Jr. That was definitely surprising to me. We didn't get Asante Samuel Jr. Obviously, we got some more depth in the secondary later in the draft, but I thought Asante Samuel Jr. definitely would have helped this team out. But I'm eager to see the other players in the secondary and see how they can contribute to the team. Looks like Niners All Day says we had one of the best drafts for sure. I have a good feeling about these guys. I know, right? I mean, we definitely had needs coming into this draft. Quarterback, interior offensive line, secondary. And, it was clear from the jump that John Lynch and company, prioritized the offensive line. That was definitely an area that needed improvement, especially compared to last year. I should say the Super Bowl year compared to last year. There was definitely a drop off, and I definitely feel like Lynch accomplished that by getting two interior offensive linemen that, they might not start right off the back, but they can at least push, Brunskill And then also we have depth. We got to have depth, just in case of injuries and things like that. So it was a very good draft overall. Looks like Damien says, I like this year's draft. Only fear I don't want to turn into Baltimore Ravens of NFC. We did that with Greg Roman already. No, that's a very good point. The league, when Colin Kaepernick, started with the Niners for injured Alex Smith, he kind of set the league on fire. The league hadn't seen a talent at the quarterback position like Colin Kaepernick in a while, and he was hard to figure out. But a year or two after Colin Kaepernick kind of set the league on fire, the league started to figure Kaepernick out. Also, of course, Jim Harbaugh was, fired, and a lot of excellent players on the Niners retired, sooner than expected. So, yeah, I don't think we will. Lynch and Shanahan, they definitely want to focus on running the ball, protecting the quarterback. I think with our moves, our draft picks, up front with the offensive line, I think it proved that Shanahan still wants to run the ball, 25 to 30 times a game. He still wants to control the time of possession, limit turnovers on the offensive side of the ball, and I think we won't become the Baltimore Ravens of the NFC. I hope not. Looks like Niners all day says trade day. Oh yeah, and Damian Lee, what's good, man? Thanks for coming through to the stream. What's good? Yeah, that was a excellent pick. I was hoping it was either Fields or Trey Lance. I would have been happy with either one. Trey Lance is only 20 years old. He's got a lot of room to grow. I just want him to come in. I can't wait to see him during the preseason, see what he can offer to the offense. And, just him learning the playbook, getting comfortable with the speed of the NFL. And we don't need to rush Trey Lance. Definitely don't need to do that. He can just come in, learn the system, and take his time. And, we have an established veteran quarterback who's played at the highest level in Jimmy G. So it looks like 49ers Nation says, I wanted Justin Fields, but I'm good with Trey, but we still need one more wide receiver and we should be good. Yeah. I would have been happy with either quarterback, Fields or Lance, because they were the more dynamic quarterbacks compared to Mac Jones, but I'm definitely happy with the Trey Lance selection. And yeah, we definitely need to get another wide receiver. I think just to help the younger guys, we need a professional route runner, someone who has good hands, someone that can read defense. That's like Emmanuel Sanders. Like in 2019 when Emmanuel Sanders was here, the offense, went on another level, and I feel like we definitely will need that. And thanks for coming through, 49ers Nation. What's good? And it looks like Niners all day says we got Austin Watkins Jr. and UFDA. He's a steal. Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, I think he's like 6'2", 207. He's undrafted. So that is a good move by the Niners. Let's see what he can bring to the table. And the Niners, they also got some other undrafted free agents. We also got a tight end, Josh Peterson out of Louisiana Monroe. And then we also got two linebackers, Justin Hillard at Ohio State and Elijah Sullivan, a linebacker from Kansas. So the 49ers have made some moves getting undrafted free agents. And, we'll see if they can possibly make the team or maybe get on a practice squad. But, it always helps to continue to add talent to the team. Let's see. Looks like 49ers Nation says, who do you think is going to replace KB? I mean, we got Richie James. He had that great game against Green Bay. But other than that, he hasn't really impressed. Jalen Hurd, he's missed the last 2 seasons due to injury. He could take KB's place, but I don't think it's wise to rely on guys who have been hurt. I mean, I just think we have to get another veteran wide receiver. I know Muhammad Sanu is here, but come on, man. What else you got, Sanu? Prove me wrong, Muhammad. Prove me wrong. I mean, he was with the Niners last year for 3 games, had like 1 target. I don't know if that was because I don't think Jimmy was I think Jimmy was hurt by the time we signed Sanu, I think. So you could say, hey, maybe it was because we had the backup quarterback in, Mullins. Um, I don't know what else Sanu has left. But hopefully it's Jalen Hurd, 49ers Nation. Hopefully Jalen Hurd can come into camp, be healthy, play good in the preseason, and he has the chance to start maybe at that third wide receiver, or he can maybe even go to second and we can move Ayuk or Debo in the slot. But hopefully it'll be, Jalen Hurd. Celts Chronicles, what's good? Thanks for coming through to the stream, man. Let me know what you thought about that draft. Well, I know you're thrilled about Trey Lance, but what else? Let me know how else you felt about the draft. Leave your thoughts, in the comments section. And Farside, first time I've seen you in the stream. Thanks for coming through. What's good? Looks like Farside says, you think Jimmy playing whole year if he doesn't get injured? Absolutely. If I had it my way, that's what I would do. There's no need to rush Trey Lance. Now, I'm not going to lie. I am more excited to see what Trey Lance can bring to the offense. But that's why there's a preseason. We can put him in the preseason, see how he plays. But I don't feel like there's any need to rush Trey Lance. But yeah, hopefully Jimmy G, he's playing for his NFL career right now. If you're Jimmy G's agent, you got to be telling Jimmy G, hey, you have to come into camp, to make sure you remind people of that 2019 seasons where you threw 27 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. You have to be, healthy. You have to make the right decisions. You have to get the ball into your playmakers' hands and have a hell of a season. And Jimmy does have a no trade clause in his contract. So at the end of the year, hopefully we at least go to the playoffs, have a long playoff run. After that, the 49ers can trade Jimmy G because we know that Trey Lance is the future. He's the heir apparent. But, Jimmy G, he's playing for his next biggest contract. And hopefully that's how Jimmy G approaches this season. Like, I have something to prove. I need to stay healthy for the entire year. And sometimes that stuff's out of your control. The torn ACL, I mean, we see that so often in the NFL. I don't know a way to really prevent the torn ACL. And then when he had the high ankle sprain, interior offensive lineman, I think it was Laken Tomlinson, got blown up. And, he kind of landed on Jimmy G's ankle, I believe. So that was, maybe that was a fluke. I don't know. But hopefully Jimmy G plays the whole year, especially if the team is winning. Now, if we start off slow, let's say out of the first 6 games, maybe we're 2-4. Maybe Lance could come in. But we're assuming that Trey Lance is going to get, is going to be the backup quarterback. There's still Nate Sudfeld. There's still Josh Rosen. They've played years in the NFL. So there's going to be definitely competition at the quarterback spot. And that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping Jimmy G plays the entire season and balls out and leads us to another deep playoff run. Niners All Day says, I don't know, trade for someone, don't know how, but maybe. Yeah, I mean, Lynch has got to make a move. I'm really surprised we didn't go after a receiver in the draft. I know we needed to get a young safety, and we got that, the gentleman, Hafunga out of USC. We definitely need to. I mean, I was surprised we took 2 running backs. That was kind of surprising to me. What did you guys think about that? We took 2 running backs. The running back room is pretty much already full. You can never have too much talent, but when another area of the team needs weapons, needs an infusion of talent, why are you giving so much to one side but leaving the other side, which is the wide receivers? They need more talent. We need more talent on that wide receiver end because the wide receiver room, the running back room, is with Mostert, Jeff Wilson Jr., Hasty, Gallman, and then now you have the 2 rookie running backs coming in, Sermon and also Elijah Mitchell. So obviously, Niners, they're not going to keep, we're not going to keep 7 running backs on, the active roster. One of those guys will probably get cut. The other one will probably go to the practice squad. But I have a feeling we'll only keep maybe 5 running backs, including Juice Check. So that was surprising to me that we didn't go after a wide receiver. I don't know who else is out there, but I'm sure Lynch will. Hopefully, Jalen Hurd, Juwan Jennings can come through for us. I guess that's all we can hope for. Looks like Niners All Day says at far side, winning season, yes. Losing season, no. I think Lance will get reps. Yeah, I agree with that. If it's a losing season or if Jimmy G gets hurt again, I would not be surprised if Trey Lance gets some reps in. But we'll see. There's Josh Rosen, Nate Sudfeld, Josh Johnson. I mean, we'll see. The quarterback room is pretty deep. But yeah, if Jimmy G gets hurt, I definitely would want to see Trey Lance in there. Or if the season is a lost cause, which that would be like a worst case scenario. Hopefully, yeah, I would definitely want to see Trey Lance in there. Looks like Damian says, watching the Chiefs pick up Creed Humphrey and fixing the O-line made me sick. We still need home run hitter, wide receiver. I like Trey Sermon. Yeah, well, we didn't get we got a few offensive linemen. Who knows if they'll be better than Creed Humphrey or they could be, the same level. We got a local kid out of, let's see, the second round pick, we picked the Notre Dame guard, Aaron Banks. He's a local kid, Bay Area born. So that's cool to bring him back to the Niners. And then we also drafted the offensive lineman in the 5th round, Jalen Moore out of Western Michigan. So, we did add some depth to the offensive line. The penciled starters right now, I would say is, you got Trent on the left tackle. You got Lincoln Tomlinson on the left guard. Center, we got Alex Mack. Right guard, you got Brunskill. And right tackle, we got McGlinchey. But maybe one of those, maybe Aaron Banks can push Brunskill. There's a potential he could start over Brunskill. I guess we'll see. But I like the depth that the draft that I like the depth that we got on the offensive line in the draft. I think Lynch definitely did an excellent job with that. The only thing I wish they did was just get a wide receiver. And I liked we added running backs. Do we necessarily need it? No, but it tells me that Lynch and Shanahan want to focus on controlling the time of possession of the clock, running the ball, and working off of play action. And it looks like Farside agrees with Niners All Day. He says, yeah, that makes sense. See, Matt Navarro, what's good? Thanks for coming through to the stream. Let me know what you thought about that draft, man. Let me know. It's like 49ers Nation says, Austin Watkins is Sammy Watkins' cousins, I heard. Yeah, I heard about that too. He's like 6'2", 207. They say he could be like a Kendrick Bourne, where solid receiver, solid hands, can't really run away from anyone. I think he only ran like a 4.52 at the 40. So he's not a burner, but maybe he could be a possession receiver. We'll see if he makes the team. Couch Chronicle says 35 points per game coming soon. Trey area. Yeah, I can't wait for that too, man. Redder 4. What's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, man. Looks like Redder says great draft day by the 49ers. I agree. Redder, what'd you think about your Steelers draft? Let me know in the comments. Now, I told you y'all was going to get Najee Harris. I knew it. You guys got yourselves a bell cow running back. So I had a feeling the Steelers would definitely target a running back, and they got Najee. And I want to talk a little bit about the Lynch and Shanahan draft strategy. It's funny because a few previous drafts, Lynch has spent first round picks on defensive players. The first year, 2017, was what Foster and Solomon Thomas. 2018, I believe that was McGlinchey. 2019, Bosa, and then 2020 was Kinlaw. So he's, Lynch has definitely wanted defensive players, and they've, obviously the 2017 didn't pay off. McGlinchey, I think he's a solid first round pick. I think he's played solid so far. He hasn't been terrible. He hasn't been excellent, but he's been pretty good so far. McGlinchey, Bosa, obviously, he's had a hell of a year, and I just can't wait to see him in red and gold. And then Kinlaw. So now this year, it was interesting to see the Niners. Obviously, we get Trey Lance. Then we follow that up with a offensive guard to add depth on the offensive line. Then we get running back Trey Sermon at Ohio State. Then a cornerback from Michigan. We finally got a corner. I was hoping we would get Asante Samuel, but unfortunately that didn't come to fruition. But yeah, it was good to see Lynch, devote some resources to the offensive side of the ball. And we still got 2 corners. We got a safety. So we've got a lot of depth. And I'm really excited for this team. I can't wait till, training camp. I can't wait to preseason. I'm actually going to be really excited for preseason, games and just to see our players out there on the field. But yeah, it was nice to see Lynch and Shanahan dedicate some of their resources to the offense because that was definitely an area of need with that offensive line last year. Let's see. Matt says, anyone else heard that Troy Warner has signed with the Rams? Wow, I didn't hear that. So I take it Troy Warner was a undrafted free agent, didn't get drafted. So, well, hey, at least he got signed to a team. Good for him. Looks like 49ers Nation says, I think Kyle's going to start Jimmy week 1, then start Trey after maybe 4 or 5 games. But it would be interesting to see what Kyle does if we start the year off 6-0 or 5-1 with Jimmy starting. That would be a great problem to have, wouldn't it be, 49ers Nation? That would be excellent. We start off the year going 6-0 or 5-1. There will be no need to take out Jimmy. There's no rush to put Trey Lance in when you got, a veteran quarterback, who's done it before. There's no need to take him out. It's funny. The Miami Dolphins did this last year when Fitzpatrick was winning games with the Dolphins. And for some reason, they just took Fitzpatrick out and they put Tua in, and Tua struggled. He's a rookie. He's going to struggle. That's what you expect for a rookie to struggle. They've never done it before at the NFL level. So I don't want that situation to happen here. I feel like if we go to Trey Lance, if Trey Lance starts games, there's no need to take him out. And but I feel like Jimmy G should ball out this year. We just got to worry about Jimmy's health and and also with Jimmy turnovers. That was definitely an issue the 2019 year. Hopefully if he starts every game, he'll have less than 10 interceptions for the entire season. That'd be nice. 27 touchdowns is good. We can definitely replicate that. But that would be an excellent problem to have, 49ers Nation, if we start off excellent, 6-0, 5-1. Now, another thing that's interesting is what if Shanahan develops like a certain package or a few packages for Trey Lance to run in the regular season, kind of like how the Saints did with Drew Brees and Taysom Hill, where Drew Brees was in at quarterback for 90% of the snaps, and Taysom Hill would come in 10%. He would run some plays, he would throw some plays. I'd like to see that with Trey Lance, to get him in the game to add another dimension to the offense. What do you guys think about that? Having Trey Lance come in during the regular season, maybe he runs 5 to 7 plays at quarterback. I think that would be nice to see. And it would definitely keep the defense on their toes. That's for sure. Looks like Redder says the safety out of USC was a steal. Yeah, that definitely was a good pick. Well, I guess we'll see if it was a good pick, but he was definitely a popular safety. We drafted him out the 5th round. UFC safety Tanoa Hufanga. He's a little undersized. He's only 6 feet, about 200 pounds. I heard he was getting, trained by Troy Polamalu, another great USC safety and also a great Pittsburgh Steeler. But he's a little undersized. He's better, it seems like it, when he's close to the line of scrimmage. He's more of an attacking safety. We'll see what he does in the NFL as far as zone coverage and, defending wide receivers and things like that. But yeah, I mean, he's definitely a young talent. And, I can't wait to see him in red and gold. Looks like Redder gives the 49ers a B+ on the draft. All right. I appreciate the feedback, Redder. What would have made it an A? what would have made it an A for the Niners to get a draft grade A in your opinion? Let me know, Redder. Looks like Niners all day says, don't understand the second running back. Think it should have been a receiver or a defensive player, but I'll rock with it. Yeah. I mean, one of the great things about that running back was, he did run a very fast 40, ran like I think it was like a 4.32 40. So that's definitely excellent. It was in the sixth round. It's definitely, I feel like it could be considered a steal, but we did have other needs. We could have drafted a wide receiver, or maybe even an edge rusher. I know, Lynch has made several acquisitions at the edge rusher position, specifically like Arden Key, Zach Kerr, Samson E. Bucum. And we still got D Ford, still got Bosa, still got Armstead. So we do have a lot of edge rushers, but you never know what you're going to get from D Ford. And that would have been nice to either get, an edge rusher or a wide receiver at that position. But we'll see what the running back out of the sixth round. Let's see. Running back was Elijah Mitchell out of Louisiana. We'll see what he brings to the table. I'm sure he'll probably contribute, in the preseason and maybe special teams. And we'll see if he makes the active roster. It wouldn't surprise me, though, if he was on the, practice squad. But we all know Shanahan loves to use multiple running backs in his system. Yeah, Talona Hufunga. Yeah, that's the safety from USC. So we'll see what he does. And back to Shanahan using running backs. Mostert was excellent for us, and he still is an excellent running back. But Shanahan doesn't like to use his running backs. He doesn't like to treat a single running back as like a bell cow running back, like a Derrick Henry. He doesn't like to run them in the ground. He likes to use several different running backs. So that could be a reason why the Niners got several running backs. And hey, last year, every running back pretty much on the roster got hurt. McKinnon, Mostert, Coleman. I think Jeff Wilson Jr. spent some time. So there, a lot of running backs got hurt last year. So it is good that we're getting depth at that position. Looks like Redder says 49ers need a wide receiver, maybe a corner. Yeah, we got two corners, Redder, in the draft. One from Oregon and one from Michigan. Michigan, the cornerback was Ambry Thomas. That was a third-round pick. And then the fifth-round pick was Demadori Lenore, cornerback out of Oregon. So we got two young cornerbacks. Hopefully they can learn from the vets, and Jason Verrett and, Emmanuel Mosley. And because all of our corners are basically on a 1-year contract, except for Emmanuel Mosley. Yep. Yeah. We got the corner out of Michigan. And I agree. Yeah. Michigan is definitely a NFL player factory. And it looks like Redder gives good old Pittsburgh Steelers a B minus. Yeah, I heard about that. The tight end that you guys got, they call him Baby Gronk. I heard about that. But yeah, Najee Harris going to the Steelers, that definitely was a good move. That's definitely was a move I saw coming. Because the Steelers, they definitely need to replace James Conner. So, and it's like Redder says, we got a steal in the sixth round. You probably don't know who this is, but he's a linebacker out of Miami named Quincy Roche. He should have gone third round. Wow, that is a steal then. That is a steal. Let me know how he does during the season. Damian Lee says Steven Nelson, a corner, is available. He's 28. I would sign him for Jason Verrett insurance. I can see that. And now when I think about cornerbacks still on the market, what do you guys think about Richard Sherman? I mean, he's still on the market. I think in the interview he said that the Raiders were interested, the Seahawks. On the Niners, I'm not sure. He got hurt last year. I don't know. I mean, there's no doubt Sherman is a physical player. He's a heady player. Great instincts. Doesn't have the speed anymore. He was never a burner, but I don't know. I mean, maybe with Sherman, I don't think you would guarantee him necessarily a starting position. But I wouldn't mind Sherman coming back. Let's see. Redder says, yeah, Nelson, good. He was great on the Steelers. He'd be a great pickup. Kind of sad he wanted out of Pittsburgh and we had no chance but to release him. I'm surprised he's still available on the market. Yeah, because he was a solid cornerback for the Steelers. But I mean, I'm surprised the Niners re-signed all the cornerbacks we did with Verrett, Mosley, K1. So it was bringing the band back, and I was kind of surprised by that. Tommy Huxley, what's good? Thanks for coming through to the stream, man. Tommy, let me know what you thought about the NFL draft. You know, the needs that we had. Let me know what you felt about John Lynch's draft selections. Do we hit all of our needs? Let me know in the comments section, Tommy. Niner for life. First time I'm seeing you in the stream. Thanks for coming through. I appreciate everyone. If you're enjoying the stream, make sure you leave a like for the video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And I appreciate everyone checking out Jay in the Bay. And it looks like Niner for life gives the 49ers draft an A+. All right. And let's see, Redder 4 says the running back Elijah Mitchell and offensive guard Jalen Moore were not good picks. The only reason the running back was a bad pick is because you have like 5. Yeah, the running back definitely was not a position of need at that point. But maybe, you know, a lot of times players get drafted either, you know, best player available or value. And that's one of the reasons why I think the 49ers traded down when they had their second round pick. I think they traded down. I think it was with the Raiders. I think they traded down a few spots because I guess they felt like they didn't value a corner that high, or they felt like they valued a offensive guard a higher position of need. I guess is what I'm trying to say. They felt that the offensive line there was more of a need for the team, and they were able to trade down to get more picks and draft a player that they felt like they really needed. But the running back, I mean, I don't know if it was a bad pick. It was a pick that we probably didn't need, but it was it's a 6th round pick. Even if we draft a corner or a wide receiver at the 6th round, what type of impact are they going to have? I mean, you never really know until, the game start. Looks like Niners all day gives a 49ers draft to A-. Yeah, I would give the draft. I would give it a B+ to draft. I would give it a B+. They addressed the interior offensive line, they addressed the corners. I feel like if it was an A, it would be perfect. And I feel like the only position was basically wide receiver that that they didn't address. I would maybe even say edge rusher, but the defensive line is pretty deep where we're at. But we just suffered so many injuries last year. It would have been nice to bring in a young rookie just coming out of college. But we can still do that. We can still sign undrafted free agents and have them come into camp to compete. So looks like Niners Nation says A- draft and maybe another safety, and our pass defense should be set. And I agree. I think the defensive line is set. Hopefully Bosa can come in and replicate his 2019 season. Hopefully we can get D Ford. I'm not expecting D Ford to be an every down defensive end at this point of his career. I'm just expecting him to be effective on obvious passing situations. Hopefully he can play, 15-20% of third down snaps, like third and long, and passing in obvious passing situations. That's what I'm hoping from D Ford. And then obviously we're set at defensive line, linebackers. I think the secondary is good. It's all going to come up to health and also how D'Amico Ryans is going to perform as a defensive coordinator. Obviously he knows the defense. He's played the game at linebacker when he was playing in the NFL at a high level, but play calling is something that's going to take time to get comfortable with, knowing what to call in what certain situation. But I think the defense is basically set. I think hopefully Bosa can come back from the ACL injury 100% healthy. Hopefully Armstead has a bounce back year, and hopefully Kinlaw continues to improve on his rookie season last year. And it looks like Tommy Huxley was definitely a fan of the Hufanga pick. Tommy says Hufanga was my favorite day 3 pick. Yeah, sucker, fight on Trojans. All right. Yeah, I mean, he was he's getting trained by Troy Polamalu. So, the sky's the limit for Hufanga, and we'll see how he plays in the NFL. 49ers Nation says Sherman is probably going to go back to the Seahawks or go to the Jets to reunite with Robert Saleh, because he did say the Jets got a great one. Yeah, I'm surprised Sherman is still available. I know he's no longer, the all-pro corner that he was in Seattle. He's definitely lost, a step or two, but, he's still an excellent corner. Depends on what defense you're running. Obviously, he's better in zone coverage. We can read the quarterback. But he's still very physical. He's still a great leader, and he would be an asset on any team that signs him. Yeah, and that would be interesting for him to reunite with Robert Saleh and the Jets, because obviously he knows the defense, and Robert Saleh knows what he's going to get from Richard Sherman. But that's definitely a story to look out. Where is Richard Sherman going to end up? Redder says, I think the Sermon pick was really good, though. Yeah, I mean, he definitely was excellent in college for Sermon. I believe he went to Oklahoma first, and then he transferred to Ohio State. But yeah, he's definitely a one-cut zone runner. That's definitely right up, Shanahan's alley. That's definitely what he wants from his running backs. So, Mostert, Wilson Jr., and Sermon, they could be the top three backs coming into training camp. So we'll see what happens. Chris Ghost Country Life, what's good? Thanks for coming through to the stream, Crisco. What do you think about your Saints draft, man? Let me know in the comment section. Let me know how your Saints did in the draft. It's like Redder says, Salah was a big loss, but the defense should still be good. By the way, who's your new DC? So it's D'Amico Ryans. He's been on the 49ers staff, I believe, at least 3 to 4 years, I believe. He was like the linebackers coach when he first came on, and now he's been promoted to defensive coordinator since Robert Saleh took that head coaching job with the Jets. And shout out to Robert Saleh. Hopefully he has a successful season with the Jets. Obviously, when he plays the Niners, you already know what time it is, but hopefully Saleh has a successful tenure with the Jets, and they got their young rookie quarterback. So yeah, Saleh was definitely a loss. But I think things should pick off where they left with D'Amico Ryans. We'll see how he is with calling plays. We'll see, because sometimes that takes time to develop. Looks like Far Side says our running backs always get injured, and we got a 17-game season. They'll all be used. Now, that's a very good point. And that's something that I didn't think about when they drafted two backs, was that, okay, it's a 17-game season. That means what, like 60 to 70 more offensive plays. It's good to have depth at multiple positions, especially with running backs they're getting hit on every single play. So yeah, Mostert should get some carries. Wilson, Hasty, Gallman. The running back room is deep, and it wouldn't surprise me if some of our backs get hurt, but we've got good depth, so that shouldn't be a problem. And looks like Tommy says, I'm sitting at a B for this draft. I feel Aaron Banks was a reach and didn't fit the scheme, but I love his size and athletic ability. Drafting two running backs was a head scratcher. No, great points. Aaron Banks, I believe I think Aaron Banks is like 6'5", like 330 or something like that. That's a big dude for a guard. Usually guards are a little bit shorter, a little bit lighter on their feet. But clearly Shanahan, saw tape of him and feel like he can fit the scheme. But yeah, usually guards are, usually about 6'2", maybe 300, maybe 310, because they got to pull around, and then they have to be able to be athletic, to get to the second level and things of that nature. But I like the move with Banks because he's a mauler, and this team clearly wants to run the ball and establish the run. And it also added depth and younger talent to the offensive line. Yeah, the two running backs, I think a lot of people, including me, were kind of surprised by that, because, I thought if we got a running back, maybe we would get one, on day 3, kind of like with the Elijah Mitchell draft pick in the 6th round. I was like, okay, we'll probably get one in day 3, and he'll probably be, he'll get some carries, he'll get some run in the preseason, but then he'll probably go to the practice squad. But I guess Lynch saw great value in getting Troy Sermon in the 3rd round. So I guess Lynch felt like he was a can't miss player there. JV, what's good? Thanks for coming through to the stream. He says Fields and Lance will be the two best quarterbacks in the NFC in a few years. Bears versus Niners going to be the NFC Championship multiple times down the road. Yeah, that's going to be great games. And I was surprised that Fields lasted until the 11th pick with the Chicago Bears. I know the Chicago Bears traded up to get him, but I was kind of surprised. Maybe the Panthers didn't take a look at Fields or the Denver Broncos. And what do you know? Mac Jones lasted until pick 15 with the Patriots. Oh man. So one thing I wanted to touch on, speaking of Mac Jones, was now I definitely felt a sense of relief when Goodell called out Trey Lance's name, but also it felt good to know that the people that were saying, "Oh, it's Mac Jones, he's the best fit." My sources tell me it's Mac Jones, yada yada yada. Like it felt so good. I don't know about you guys, but it felt so good to know that they're basically it was BS. They were lying. There were no reliable sources that told them that Mac Jones was a favorite, that Kyle Shanahan loved Mac Jones. Like, so they were all lying. Just doing it for clicks, and it felt so good that Shanahan saw what we saw as a fan base, and also that that those supposed sources weren't true. So it was nice for the Niners to prove everyone wrong and select a more dynamic quarterback. And that's what I think they did. So it's definitely a sense of relief and also like vindication. Like, yeah, you guys don't know what you're talking about. This past 2-3 weeks of Mac Jones talk has just been fodder. It's just been fodder just to get clicks. That's all it's been. Looks like Crisco says, saw y'all took the running back. Yeah, we got two running backs, Troy Sermon and Elijah Mitchell. So our running back room is pretty deep. As Farside mentioned earlier, that it's a 17-game season, so a lot of running backs are going to get a lot of carries this year. We don't want to run any of our running backs to the ground. And, Mostert, maybe he'll get about 15, 17 touches a game. So that could be rushing, that could be receiving. That's what I would imagine the workload for Mostert. Because Mostert is excellent in spurts, but he's not a Derrick Henry type. He's not going to carry the ball 30 times a game. So Tommy says, I was shocked we didn't take Ojulari when he was available. They must be happy with the pass rush currently. Yeah, I mean, Lynch has definitely made a lot of moves with the defensive line. Zach Kerr, Arden Key, Maurice Hurst, Samson Ibukum. He's made a lot of investments into the defensive line in free agency. So, it would have been nice maybe in day 2 or day 3 get an edge rusher, but a lot of guys are signed to 1-year deals, and we can still look at undrafted free agents. So, but yeah, there's going to be a lot of competition at multiple positions, and that's going to be a beautiful thing to see because iron sharpens iron. And there's nothing like great competition, for starting spots and playing time. Looks like JV says a Sermon pick was underrated. Yeah, I mean, that was great value to get a running back of that caliber in a 3rd round, because, I believe Sermon had over about 6.5 yards per carry in college. So to get that type of production in the 3rd round, that's pretty good. And Sermon's not going to be expected to carry the load. I'm sure he'll come in. We'll see what the depth chart looks like. I think Mostert has the number 1 running back, but who knows what happens in preseason and once the regular season starts. And Shanahan, he's going to use multiple backs. I can see him easily using 3 different backs on game day. Actually, I guess it would be 4, including Juszczyk, but I could definitely see that. Brandon the King, what's good? Thanks for coming through to the stream. He says, we look pretty stacked this upcoming season. I know, I can't wait. Speaking of stacked, the NFC West is stacked. And I couldn't help but notice some of the other draft selections by our NFC West opponents. I noticed that the Seahawks got a receiver in the 2nd round. of the draft. I think his name was actually no, that was the Arizona Cardinals. They got a slot receiver, Rondale Moore, in the second round, wide receiver out of Purdue. The Rams got another receiver in the second round out of Louisville. And the Seahawks, they got a receiver as well in day 2 of the draft. So NFC West is stacked, a lot of offensive talent. So that is a good reason why Lynch has dedicated draft picks to the secondary, because that's definitely something, an area of need for us. We got to get younger, but other teams are devoting assets to get younger at the wide receiver position. And yeah, Lynch has done that, back-to-back picks with Debo and Ayuk. Those were high draft picks, but we have to continue to get better. We still have to continue to get more skill position players, because NFC West is no joke. It's going to be tough. And yes, our roster is stacked for sure. Running back, defensive line, the safeties with our secondary, and offensive line. We're stacked there. We have a lot of depth. Running back, and I guess now I'm just looking at wide receiver. And hey, we could still get another edge rusher. We'll see. Justin Houston is still out there. Ryan Kerrigan is still out there. So those could be options as well. Looks like Damian Lee says Mike Jones going to have a rude awakening. He says Mike Jones going to have a rude awakening playing in the cold in New England. Is different from Alabama heat. That's right. Yeah, I don't know where Mike Jones is from, but yeah, the Alabama heat and then that New England winter is totally different. I don't know. I don't know if it snows in Bama. I don't know, but the heat you get in the South is, much different than the heat you get in the Northeast. So I'm surprised. And I wonder if Mac Jones will start ahead of Cam. I guess we'll see what happens. That'll be an interesting quarterback camp with Cam Newton and Mac Jones. It's like Damien says, Troy Sermon has some good highlights, a good duo with Jeff Wilson. No, absolutely. Because Mostert, I believe he is. Let me check. Let's see, how old is Raheem Mostert? I think he's like almost 30. And when running backs hit the age of 30, usually their better years are behind them. Let's see. Mostert's 29 years old. So, I mean, how many more years upper echelon running back are we going to get from Raheem Mostert? 2 years, maybe. Fortunately, he doesn't have a lot of carries on his body, which is excellent. But Mostert is great in spurts. He's good. Once he gets out in the open field, he's one of the fastest players in the NFL. But yeah, Sermon and Wilson could be a nice duo, for years to come. And looks like Tommy says Saints drafting Ian Book was weird. He is a I don't know what that is. Let me know, Tommy. Who is Ian Book? Never heard of him. Brehan Sutton. What's good? Thanks for coming through to the stream, Brehan. First time I've seen you. What'd you think of the 49ers draft? Let me know in the comments section. What grade would you give them? Did Lynch address all the needs in the draft? Let me know in the comments section. And if you guys are enjoying the live stream, I appreciate you guys put a like on this video, and I appreciate you guys subscribing to Jay in the Bay. Let's continue with the comments. Let's see. Go back up. Got past the last comment. Okay, here we go. Okay, looks like Redder says Mac is in a great situation. Brady wasn't mobile, and look what he did on the Pats. Not saying he's Brady, but I think Bill can make Mac good, and Mac has a great online and weapons. Yeah, I mean, as long as you give a quarterback time in the pocket, he's got a good running game. I don't know who the Patriots running backs are, but yeah, you give a quarterback good weapons, good offensive line. He's got time to throw. He's got a consistent running game. Yeah, he should do pretty well. I'd be surprised if he beat out Cam though, because Cam brings another dimension to the Pats offense. And Cam, he was looking pretty good before he got COVID last season. So we'll see what they do this year. 49er thoughts. What's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream. Looks like he is a fan of Trey Sermon. He's a beast. All right. Can't wait to see him in the red and gold, baby. Looks like Tommy agreed with me that he called Najee Harris to the Steelers. Yeah, the Steelers definitely needed a bell cow back, and they got it in Najee Harris. Yeah, it looks like we got a Steeler fan in Red or Force saying that he's happy about the Najee Harris pick. I would be too. Yeah, I was even thinking the Niners. That would have been nice if the Niners traded back up to the first round to got Najee. He could have been, one our running back for the future, and he wouldn't have to carry the load. But happy for Najee and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And as I was thinking, and Redder said it, you guys got yourselves a franchise running back. Looks like Tommy says he thinks Tasty Hasty is going back to the practice squad. That's a possibility. He didn't get that much run last year. I wanted to see more of Hasty, especially over Jet McKinnon. But for some reason, Shanahan liked McKinnon more over Hasty. So, yeah, I mean, the running back room is deep with talent, and it's definitely going to be a battle, potentially for the starting spot. But I would definitely say, for the running backs, the 4 running backs that are going to be on the roster on game day. Obviously it's going to be Mostert and Juszczyk, and then who will be the next 2? Possibly Wilson and Sermon. I'd imagine one of those running backs will probably be on special teams as well, maybe kick return, punt return, things like that. And it looks like Tommy says we're going to knock the pants off the Care Bears when we play them. That's funny. Yeah, I think the Bears, they got themselves a quarterback. Now let's see what Justin Fields brings to the Bears. I wonder if he'll start from day one. The Bears got themselves a pretty good defense. Andy Dalton, he's not going to win your Super Bowl, but he's a solid starting quarterback. So that should be an interesting QB battle. It's like Niners all day. We got another fan of Sermon. Troy Sermon is a dog. All right. It's like Redder says, no offense, but I'm not that high on Lance. I think Fields would have been a better pick. But on the good side, Lance went 17-0 in his college career and threw 0 picks. Plus, he's in a great situation. Yeah, I mean, obviously, we've seen more film on Justin Fields. He played last year, I believe, played in the national championship game, I think, or the game before that. And we've seen more tape of Fields, but I think we were good with either quarterback. But it looks like Shanahan saw something in Lance, that he liked more than Fields. So I'm rocking with Shanahan's pick. Shanahan obviously knows what he's doing. And I can't wait to see Lance, especially in the preseason. He should definitely get a lot of the run in the preseason. And hopefully he can play in the regular season as well. With some packages similar like Taysom Hill and with the New Orleans Saints. I'd like to see Trey Lance get some quarterback play during the regular season when the games really count. Looks like Tommy says sermon coming Sunday. Lord have mercy. Can I get an amen? You funny, Tommy. Yeah, I can't wait to see Sermon coming through on Sundays. That's right. Looks like Brandon DeKing says we are now on the spot to win multiple championships in the span of 10 years. Now, I agree. Russell Wilson, obviously, he's still excellent. You got Stafford with the Rams. You got Kyler. But I think Trey Lance has the opportunity to be better than Kyler, better than Stafford, and potentially maybe he can be as good as Russell Wilson. But this move definitely helped the franchises, help the 49ers franchise for years to come in getting Trey Lance. He's on a rookie contract. We have team control of him for the next 5 years. And that way we can continue to build around Trey Lance. Now, the only downside about paying a quarterback, more than 20, 25, 30 mil a year is that, you have all this money in one quarterback, and then it's hard to build around that quarterback. So, Jimmy's contract most likely will be off the books next year. That's $20 million more than we'll have, and then we can continue to build around Trey Lance. So maybe we can afford, upper echelon free agent wide receiver next year, or maybe even get another, top corner or something like that. But this move by Shanahan definitely helped his legacy, and hopefully Lance continues to get better every year, progresses, and it'll be like Lance and Fields. Those will be the next two young guns going at it. So in the NFC, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. Yeah, it looks like I'm guessing. Yeah, I mean, I think you're spot on. I mean, if Lance works at it, he's very cerebral. That's what Shanahan has said. Smart kid. He's athletic. He's got all the traits you want in the quarterback. So if he lives up to his potential, the sky's the limit. That's how I'll take it. Sky is the limit. Looks like JV says Mac has an outdated play style. He's not mobile, which is a necessity in today's game. Niners made the right pick with Lance. I agree. I mean, is it a necessity? I think what's a necessity is to be able to stand in the pocket, read the defense, make the correct read, and not be a runner like Lamar Jackson, but be able to step up into the pocket, extend plays either to the right or to your left. But you don't necessarily have to be fast like Lamar Jackson, but you do have to be mobile. And as you said, Trey Lance is definitely, that option where he can, roll outside the pocket, and create more time for the wide receivers to get open. What's so annoying when we play, I don't know about you guys, but what's so annoying when we play the Seahawks and the Cardinals is Russell Wilson and Kyler Murray. They take the snap. Even if the rush gets to them, they're able to move out the pocket. And I'm sitting staring at the TV saying, get him, get him, get him. And then they're able to extend the play for a few more seconds and get rid of the ball. And it's so frustrating to see. And that's why we got Trey Lance. Now we can do that to other teams. So I'm so glad we got Trey. Niners All Day says we got two Treys in the Bay. Yeah, you're right about that. Trey Sermon and Trey Lance. Let's see. Redder says, yeah, Mostert, he's 29. So, once running backs usually hit 30, they're usually not, obviously they got a lot of carries on them, and they're usually not as effective after they hit the age of 30. Good thing with Mostert, though, is he hasn't had a lot of carries on his body, similar to like Ezekiel Elliott, who's had a ton of carries, and he's really not the same back. But Mostert hasn't had that many carries on his body. But, what's great about Mostert is his vision, his quickness, and his speed. So how long will that last once he passes 30, I guess time will tell. Looks like JV says in response to Tommy, he says he thinks the Bears are better. It's going to be a tough matchup for San Francisco, but some good games. No, absolutely. There's definitely going to be some good games, and watching two young quarterbacks duel it out. But our division is going to be tough. I mean, everywhere we look, Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, Matt Stafford. So that's going to be interesting when Trey Lance is, starting, and how he matches up with those other quarterbacks. Because Trey Lance definitely has the potential to be the best quarterback in the NFC West. That's for sure. And that's why Lynch and Shanahan made this move to get the quarterback of the future. Unfortunately, Jimmy G has proven he can't stay healthy. So it was time to improve the quarterback room. And that's definitely what they did with this third overall pick. Looks like 49ers Nation says, yeah, I was so happy that we didn't pick Mac. Also, Kyle did say that doesn't want a quarterback with an injury history, and I feel like that's why he didn't draft Fields. Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't hear him when he said that, because Shanahan has seen firsthand what happens when your starting quarterback goes out. So that was definitely an area of need this offseason. One of them was strengthening the offensive line. The other was improving the quarterback room. There's no more Nick Mullins, no more CJ Beathard. they're decent spot starters, but definitely not for 4 to 6 and long 4 to 6 to 8 games a season. They just didn't cut it. So I was glad that the 49ers updated, the improved the quarterback room, or at least got different players. I don't know if it's improved yet. I feel like it's improved with Trey Lance for the future, but we'll see what Sudfeld, Rosen, and Josh Johnson bring to the table. Looks like 49ers Nation says because he did come back, but he did get injured against Clemson. Oh, yeah, you're talking about Justin Fields. Yeah, I think he had that rib injury, but he did show toughness and heart in that game where he came back. But yeah, I believe he didn't slide and he took a shot from one of the defenders, but he did come back in that game. Oh man, Davian Lee says Mac Jones fans were on suicide watch. Yeah, no, and during the live stream of the draft, I was like, why they keep showing Mac Jones when the 49ers, when the clock was ticking down? I was like, why they keep showing Mac Jones? Why don't y'all show Trey Lance? Why don't y'all show Justin Fields? They kept showing Mac. But and it's funny, it ain't no shade against Mac. I don't hate on Mac. I ain't got nothing against Mac. I just feel like there were better players who could do more at his position. That's why I felt like Trey Lance or Justin Field was the pick. And look, and what do you know? Mac Jones lasted until pick 15 with the New England Patriots. So clearly it was just a lot of fodder, the previous 3 weeks of the draft by all the commentators saying, oh, it's Mac Jones. He's the best fit for Kyle Shanahan's offense, yada, yada, yada. So it's just nice. It's also nice to prove people wrong, man. Let's see. Redder says, my NFC West prediction, 49ers 1, Rams 2nd, Cardinals 3, Seahawks 4. Man, our division is going to be so tough. Best defense is probably, you can make a case between the Rams and Niners. Best offense overall, I mean, the best quarterback right now is, still Russell Wilson. But yeah, our division is going to be so tough. We're just going to be beating up on each other. I don't think any team will probably win more than, I would say no team will win more than 11 games in our division. I think, we'll all be between like 9 and 11, maybe 12 games. But yeah, it's going to be an all-out battle in the NFC West. I could see it playing like that. I would actually put the Seahawks before the Cardinals. I think the Seahawks are a little bit better. The Rams got that defense. They got the running game. They got the wide receivers. They got the quarterback. I would probably say 49ers, Rams, Seahawks, and then Cardinals. And you could easily put the Rams at first, but we would definitely be a close second for sure. I think all the games will be close. It's like JV says, Tommy says, JV, we're going to beat you by 3 scores. I can't wait till the games start. Brendan the King says NFC West looking like they're going to take over the NFL. I know, right? I mean, you could probably make a case all 4 teams could make the playoffs, it's definitely the best division. It's the most competitive division, probably the best quarterbacks in the division, I would say. Probably best overall talent with offensive weapons, defense. Well, I guess the 2 best defensive teams is Niners and Rams. Seahawks did get better. The Cardinals, they got better. They got Watt. So yeah, just top to bottom, it's just crazy how talented this division is. And then you look at the head coaches. Obviously with Shanahan, you got Pete Carroll in Seattle with the Rams. His name is slipping my mind for some reason. Rams head coach. And then of course you got Cliff Kingsbury with Arizona, which he hasn't proved. He's a great head coach, great offensive mind, but he hasn't proved he's a great head coach yet. But the talent is just off the charts. Like Niners all day says, if y'all know who Michael Miller is, he was probably mad. Yeah, I don't know who that is. Let me know. Looks like JV disagrees with Tommy. He says, I don't know about that. Looks like Redder says Seahawks got a great player in a second and a wide receiver out of Western Michigan. He's a great and explosive player. Sorry for off topic. He's just one of my favorite players in the draft. No, it's all good, man. Yeah, the Seahawks, it's funny. In that second round, the Seahawks, the Cardinals, and the Rams all added to their wide receiver room. And it's unfortunate the Niners didn't address that need in the draft, but hopefully that move doesn't come to bite us by not getting a wide receiver. Hopefully Jalen Hurd, Jawan Jennings, hard work pays off in the offseason. Hopefully they come in healthy and can contribute, in the season. We're definitely going to need their production. And yeah, the 49ers secondary will definitely have their hands full going up against the NFC West opponents. That's for sure. Our pass rush is going to have to be off the charts because, you can only really cover receivers 3 or 4 seconds. After that, they're calling you for holding. Alejandro, what's good? Thanks for coming through to the stream, man. He says, did you see that guy we signed? Let me know which guy you're talking about. I did see recently we did sign a few undrafted free agents. I think it was, we got a tight end, Josh Peterson out of Louisiana Monroe. We got 2 linebackers, Justin Hilliard out of Ohio State, Elijah Sullivan, linebacker out of Kansas. And we also got a receiver out of UAB, Austin Watkins. So let me know which guy you're referring to. At least we did add in that receiver, Austin Watkins. So then he could come into camp, compete, maybe get on special teams, and eventually make his way, to play some snaps on the offensive side of the ball. Brandon the King says, and this upcoming season reminds me when Alex Smith got hurt and Kaepernick stepped up. Maybe it could look like that this season. That's definitely a possibility. Definitely a possibility. I mean, Trey Lance definitely, he would be. I would be more excited to see Trey Lance in a regular season. I can't lie, just because he's going to bring another element, another dimension to this offense that we haven't seen since Shanahan has been here. But I think everyone can agree, or I don't know. You guys, let me know how you feel. I feel Jimmy G still gives us the best opportunity to win once the regular season starts. He knows the playbook. He's been in the system. We've got the running game. We've got the defense. And I still think Jimmy gives us the best chance to win. And even Shanahan said that as well. Looks like Damian Lee says, do you think we need a physical corner? Yeah, it would be nice. Wouldn't it be nice to have a physical corner like Sherman, 6'3", imposing? That would be nice to have. So part of me wouldn't be mad if we got Sherman back. It was just, it just ended kind of bad last year. He was hurt. And then when he came back, he wasn't really the same corner. So it's almost like, what does Sherman have left? But I'm glad, Lynch drafted 2 young corners in the draft. And I can't wait to see them develop. It's like Tommy says, the Bears equal where quarterbacks go to die. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, they haven't really, had an upper echelon quarterback. Jay Cutler was pretty much their best quarterback of the last, 20 years. Cutler did take the Bears to the playoffs a few times, but, they never won a Super Bowl with Cutler. And Cutler, he's a solid quarterback. It's like JV predicts the NFC. Oh, he says NFC West predictions for next season. Mine are Rams 1, San Francisco 2, Arizona 3, Seattle 3. Oh, so you think Arizona and Seattle have the same record? Rams coming first. Oh, yeah, and the Rams head coach's name was Sean McVay. Yeah. So it looks like he has the Rams at 1, the 49ers at 2, and then the Cardinals and Seattle with the same record. Oh, that's interesting. I mean, it's going to be so close. And, I just can't wait until the regular season starts. And, yeah, I could definitely see that playing out like that with, I think it's going to go back and forth. It's going to go really back and forth. I think, like I said before, I don't think any team will probably win more than 11, maybe 12 games. So it's just going to be It's going to be like an all-out battle every game, and I can't wait to see it, faithful. I can't wait to see it, Niner Empire. And I appreciate your comments, JV. Let's continue on. So it looks like Redder says Ian Book is Notre Dame's quarterback. Okay. And yeah, I hadn't heard of him. But it looks like this. So you're saying your Steelers got Ian Book? Okay. And it looks like Tommy says Ian Ian Book is a really bad quarterback. I guess you guys will have to let me know. I don't know. I haven't seen him play. Looks like Damien says Arden Key and Samson E. Buckham will be death on quarterbacks. That's what we're hoping. Arden Key didn't really perform that well with the Raiders. He showed flashes at times, but he really underperformed with the Raiders. So hopefully, with Arden Key surrounded with better talent, around him, Armstead, Kinlaw, Bosa, D Ford, hopefully that'll elevate his play. Hopefully he can get some one-on-one matches and he can get after the quarterback. And also with Samson E. Buckham, he played well with the Rams, and hopefully he can have a double-digit sack season opposite of Nick Bosa. It's like JV says, Tommy Huxley, there has never been a good quarterback in the first place. Do quarterbacks can't go to die if they were never good to begin with? Things will change with Fields in Chicago. He's going to be great. Yeah, I think the Bears definitely got themselves a franchise quarterback with Justin Fields. If you guys just continue to build, offensive weapons around them, I think the Bears will be in good position. Like Redder says, yeah, Ian Book doesn't have the arm or accuracy. Okay. And Tommy says Fields is really bad against pressure. He has a possibility to bust like many Ohio State quarterbacks. Hopefully he is better than Trash Bisky. I mean, if they surround Fields with talent, he's got a good offensive line. They got a good running game. There's definitely a transition from college to the pros with the speed of the game. Quarterbacks have to read the defense, make the right reads and things like that. So the real work begins now. Doesn't really matter what you did in college. Tommy says, Lance is definitely better than Haskins, though. Can't believe the Steelers signed that scrub. Yeah, we'll see. Sometimes a change of scenery helps. Maybe, he'll make the most of this opportunity, Haskins, that is. And then he'll be able to learn from Ben Roethlisberger. Looks like Redder says, yeah, I don't like Haskins. Well, we'll see what he does, You guys got Big Ben. He doesn't have too many years left. We'll see what happens. CG Ruthless. What's good? Thanks for tuning in to the stream, baby. Niner Wire. What's good? Thanks for coming in to the stream. Looks like Niner says, gotta say this draft class looking real good. Lots of upside with everyone. Yeah, Niner Wire, I appreciate your thoughts. And CG, let me know what you thought about the draft. Did we address all of our needs? And yeah, I thought we did. I thought I would give Lynch a B just based off our needs. We needed to get younger at corner. We needed to get some more interior offensive linemen. We definitely did that. We just need to get another wide receiver. That's it. Let's see. Tommy says, did the Steelers draft a quarterback or are they just going to groom Haskins? Yeah, I don't know if the Steelers drafted a quarterback. I'm not sure. But yeah, definitely Haskins, he needs to make the most out of his opportunity and learn as much as he can, from Big Ben. So looks like CG says he believes is better because the situation reminds me of Pat Mahomes. I think you're referring to Jimmy G and Trey Lance situation. Let me know if I'm wrong. But yeah, Alex Smith was a starting quarterback for the Chiefs. Andy Reid and the Chiefs moved up in the draft to get Pat Mahomes. Pat Mahomes sat, I think, for at least one season, maybe two. I think it was at least one season, maybe two seasons. Pat Mahomes sat learn the offense. And then, Andy Reid made the move to move on from Alex Smith and start Pat Mahomes. So hopefully we can do that with Jimmy G. Hopefully Jimmy G balls out this year. He comes into camp with something to prove. He comes in the camp with a fire lit under him, and he's ready to continue his stellar NFL career because he's looking for his next biggest contract. So hopefully that's what happens. Niner Wire, he says, and the UDFA class, wouldn't be surprised if all four of those guys made the 53 roster. Yeah, I mean, we got a wide receiver, 2 linebackers, and a tight end. So we'll see. Because we didn't draft any linebackers in the draft, and I don't think we get any free agent linebackers. I don't think so. So yeah, I mean, those guys maybe be able to provide depth behind Warner and Greenlaw. And then we also got that tight end who is a UDFA as well. So, behind Kittle, behind Dwelly, I don't know what else we have in the tight end room. I'd have to check, but looks like Tommy says, I know why sometimes in UDFA. Yeah, I didn't know. Kendrick Bourne was a undrafted free agent. I mean, he was definitely a solid pickup as an undrafted free agent. That's for sure. Looks like Redder says, I hope we get a quarterback next season. Yeah, you guys might want to maybe get a free agent quarterback or maybe draft one. But we'll see. I'm excited to see how Najee's going to do for you guys. Let's see. Niners All Day says Lance is more pro ready than we think. He's not the most pro ready, but he's way closer than the analysts say. Yeah, I mean, that's very difficult to judge. I mean, how do you really know? Why is Trevor Lawrence pro ready, but Justin Fields isn't? Like, I mean, just because you do well in college doesn't necessarily mean it's always going to translate to the NFL. So yeah, I'm intrigued to see. Shanahan said that what stood out a lot from Lance to Shanahan was that he was so great, cerebral wise. He had a great mind. He's very smart. He's a thinker. So that definitely will help him on the football field. And hey, if Trey Lance beats out Jimmy G in training camp, then hey, I'm more power to Lance and Shanahan. But I'd be surprised by that. But we'll see what happens in camp. Looks like Tommy says the quarterback class next season looks thin, but oh well. It's funny you mentioned that, Tommy. And I think that's one of the reasons why Lynch and Shanahan traded up to be in the top 3. Now, one of the other reasons why was the issue with Deshaun Watson. He pretty much was off limits after the allegations came out. Because I think the Niners were definitely interested in upgrading the quarterback position with Deshaun Watson, but he was pretty much untradeable after the allegations came out. So since that was no longer an option, Shanahan and Lynch didn't want to stand pat at 12 because they figured Trey Lance wouldn't be available. So they traded up into the top 3. And also because of the quarterback class next year, it's not as great as it was this year, but who knows? Because next fall when the college football season starts, we'll see what these quarterbacks do. But I'm glad we got our franchise future quarterback. CG Ruthless says he knows the offense very similar to North Dakota State offense. Yeah, he did some good things on that offense. And I can't wait to see how Shanahan integrates him within our offense. I want to see the naked bootlegs. I want to see the what is that? The run pass option, the RPOs, and things of that nature. I'm excited to see an open playbook because all the talking heads have been saying, "Oh, well, Shanahan doesn't trust Jimmy, and the playbook is a quarter of what it could be because Shanahan doesn't trust Jimmy and all this." So, no more excuses. No excuses. I want to see how the playbook expands with Trey Lance behind center. So. Looks like Alejandro says, but who knows how that guy from Oregon will play for us. Yeah, I think you're talking about the corner we got from Oregon. Demoldo Demordery Lenore. His name is first name is hard to pronounce. The last name Lenore, cornerback from Oregon. It's a 5th round pick. There's not even a guarantee he'll make the team. But that was definitely an area of need for us. But that's why I was kind of surprised. Faithful. Let me know how you guys felt. I was surprised, in the second round that we traded down. We had Asante Samuel if we wanted, but unfortunately that didn't come to fruition. We traded down with the Raiders, and we got a guard, which definitely that was a position of need, but we also could have got one of the better corners in the draft. But we'll see how this plays out. Looks like CG says he likes the Talanoia Hufanga pick, the safety from USC. Yeah, he's a little undersized for me for a safety. Usually a safety, you want someone to be like at least like between 215, 225. Hufanga is about 200 pounds, but he's young. He can still add on some pounds to his frame. But at USC, it looked like he played his best when he was in the box. When he was good, he was pretty good in run coverage. But we'll see how he is, going up against NFL wide receivers, playing the safety position, how he is in zone coverage and things like that. But yeah, I like the pick. We definitely needed to get younger at the safety position. All of our safeties besides Jimmy Ward are basically on 1-year deals. So, this team could look much different in the secondary next year. CG says Patriots think they got the next Tom Brady. Oh man. Well, time will tell. CG. I mean, we'll see what happens. Mac, he's solid. Ain't nothing wrong with Mac. He had an excellent career at Alabama. I think he'll be a good quarterback, but he just won't be as dynamic, as some other quarterbacks in the NFL. And it looks like CG says, in all seriousness, he should be decent in New England. I agree. As long as they surround him with talent, he's a good player. They just need a running game, offensive line, and the weapons around him. I mean, every quarterback needs that. I mean, the perfect picture of that was when Tom Brady was with the Patriots in his last year. He had no wide receivers that could get separation. He didn't have a running game. And, Tom Brady had one of his worst seasons, and the Patriots didn't even go to the playoffs. And then, Tom Brady goes to Tampa Bay where they got studs, with Godwin, Evans, AB. They got the offensive line. They got the great defense. And look, Tom Brady's winning another Super Bowl. So you got to have the talent around you. And it looks like Redder says he's not the next Brady, but Mac will be good. Yeah, I mean, Brady, he's only TB12 is only the most he's the most accomplished quarterback ever. There's no denying that. He's won the most Super Bowls as a starting quarterback. I don't know if he's the best ever. I don't think he has the best arm or best physical attributes, but there's no doubt that he's, the most successful quarterback to ever play in the NFL. So, by saying, "Oh, we got the next Tom Brady," that's a stretch. It would be like us when we drafted Debo or Ayuk saying, "Oh, we got the next Jerry Rice." Slow down a little bit. Looks like CG says, "Have you seen Patriots fan hype him as the next Brady?" I haven't seen that, but that doesn't surprise me. Looks like Redder says, "I'm a Mac fan. I think he can be above average or star, but never in the elite area." Hey, Redder, do you think he will start over Cam Newton this season? Let me know in the comments. Looks like Niner Wire says national media, a whole bunch of clowns. Yeah, I mean, they were citing sources and things like that saying, "Oh, it's definitely Mac Jones and all this. It's just fodder." But, they have a job to do. Sometimes they stretch the truth a little bit. You know, if they were saying that, hey, Mac Jones is the closest comparison to Kirk Cousins, I could see how they could say that. But when Shanahan said, he wants a quarterback as accurate as Drew Brees and athletic as Lamar Jackson, that doesn't meet the description or that doesn't list attributes of Mac Jones. That sounds like a Trey Lance. So national media was definitely wrong. That's like Tommy says, Redder, I can dig that. He is very smart. Needs to work on the needs to work on the dad bod and the partying. Yeah, I'm sure he'll do that in New England, with Belichick. I'm sure he would definitely get, his he'll definitely get his football acumen in order with the New England Patriots, because obviously we know Belichick don't play around. We know that. And looks like CG says, watch their videos. It's like we got our next Brady hype, had a good laugh. I think Mac will be like Jimmy G, if anything else. Yeah. And Jimmy G, when healthy, he's top 12, maybe top 15 quarterback when healthy. So yeah, I think Mac should have a pretty successful career. Looks like Nine Wire says they owe us an apology for the smack cones malarkey. I agree, man. And they were really confident in saying Mac Jones, and they were basically just talking. There was no reliable source. So it's like CG says, he likes the predictions from Redder. Okay. It's like Tommy says, Cliff Dingleberry is never gonna jack. That's funny. Man, yeah, they haven't been to the playoffs yet. The Cardinals are in a tough division, but they got talent on the offensive side. They got talent on defense. They were doing good last year. Kyler got hurt with that shoulder injury, and they weren't the same offense. Hey, Redder, who do you want the Steelers to get for your quarterback? Do you want to draft a quarterback in the first round next year, or do you want to get like a veteran free agent, like I don't know, like a Teddy Bridgewater, or maybe even a Jimmy G? Who knows? You know, Hopefully Jimmy G balls out and we can get a first round pick for him next year. Random, the random electronic 2.0. What's good? Thanks for coming through to the stream. He says Cliff Kingsbury is a bum, though. I'm not worried about him. Well, we got to worry about Kyler Murray, because Kyler Murray ain't no bum, especially when he extends plays. Wide receivers get open. It's very frustrating watching him and Russell Wilson, because even if the defensive line gets pressure, that they can move out the pocket, right or left, and extend time for the wide receivers to get open. So it's very frustrating to play against those types of receivers. So hopefully the other defenses will feel that same frustration going up against the Niners in the future. Looks like Tommy says the Seahawks still haven't addressed O-line. Russ will be running for his life again. Yeah, I think they did get an offensive lineman in the draft, I believe. I know they got the receiver, Eskridge. And I think they did get an offensive lineman in like the 6th round of the draft. The Seahawks did. So, but yeah, the Seahawks definitely got to improve their offensive line, and they got to have a consistent running game. So, and it looks like Random says they got Stone Forsythe, but I'm a Florida grad, and honestly, he's not that great. Okay. Better says, yeah, Russell going to be running for his life. Yeah. Especially if they're letting Russ cook and he wants to throw the ball, 30, 35, 40 times a game. They need to definitely rely. They definitely need to rely on the running game. It's like Niner Wire says, Hillard is a perfect scheme fit. Watkins has been on a few 49er podcasts before and seems like a great KB replacement. Okay, I have to check out those. And yeah, we definitely need to find a replacement for Kendrick Bourne. Hopefully, it's already on this roster. Hopefully, in Jalen Hurd and Juwan Jennings. We'll just see how they are health wise, because Hurd has missed the last 2 seasons. First season was a back injury; he was out the whole year. Second season, he tore his ACL. Hey, maybe 3 times the charm. Maybe his 3rd season, he'll come out, he'll be healthy, and he'll be productive. I think Juwan Jennings was also hurt the entire last season, so we'll see what happens. It's like Damian Lee says, I'm waiting on June 1st cut date. Okay. Who do you think the Niners will cut? I mean, I believe Shanahan, and Shanahan said, "Hey, Jimmy G." Unfortunately, I think of Jimmy G right off the back. But Shanahan said, "Hey, Jimmy G gives us the best chance to win, and he would be, disappointed if he wasn't on the roster this season." So I wonder who the 49ers will look to cut, on June 1st. John Day, what's good? Thanks for coming through to the stream. Looks like he says, "How would you grade our offseason moves as a whole, free agency and draft combined?" I would say I would give it. I would probably give it an A. It's almost perfect. We addressed offensive line. We had to sign the big man, the silverback, Trent Williams. We had to re-sign Trent Williams. That was a huge deal. He was rated as one of the best left tackles in all of football last year. We had to sign him to protect Jimmy G's blind side. Lincoln Thomason is coming back at left guard. We signed Alex Mack. We got a center who's been in Shanahan's system before in Cleveland, in Atlanta. I like that move. Brunskill's back at right guard. Hopefully McGlinchey has a bounce back season next year. And speaking of McGlinchey, we did pick up his 5th-year option, so he will be getting paid $10 million next year. So I like that we fortified the offensive line. We definitely got better at running back. Moster's coming back. Wilson's coming back. We got the 2 backs out of the draft. We also re-signed Wayne Gallman. So we, offense right off the back, offensive line has been improved. Running back's been improved. Wide receiver hasn't really been improved. I haven't seen that yet. So that is one area. Defensive line has definitely been improved. We've definitely had an influx of talent on that defensive line. So many names: Arden Key, Zach Kerr, Maurice Hurst, Samson Bucum. So many names. So the defensive line has been improved. The linebacking core didn't really need to get improved. We're good on that area with Warner and Greenlaw. And the secondary was definitely improved because I didn't think we would be able to re-sign all of our players from the secondary, especially Kwan, Mosley, and Verrett. All 3 of them signed and brought back. That was excellent. And then with the safeties, Tart and Ward, I pretty much knew Ward was coming back. I was surprised that Tart got brought back, but it was only on a 1-year deal. And then we also added depth. So I would give it an A. The only position I would like to see some more veteran leadership is just at the wide receiver, and maybe edge rusher like Justin Houston, Ryan Kerrigan is still out there. Wide receiver, we got Sanu, but I think we can get someone better than that. I just don't know how much Sanu has left. But that's definitely a great question. And if you're still on, what grade would you give the 49ers offseason as a whole, free agency and draft combined? And like I said, I would give them an A. Let's see. Give me 1 second. I lost where I was at. Okay, looks like CG says Doug Peterson's son signed with us. Sammy Watkins' cousin signing with us is interesting. Yeah, I saw that right before I came on that the 49ers had made some signings of some undrafted free agents. For those that don't know, the 49ers signed a tight end out of Louisiana Monroe, Josh Peterson. And as CG mentioned, that's Doug Peterson's son, and he plays tight end. We also signed 2 linebackers, one out of Ohio State named Justin Hilliard, and the other linebacker out of Kansas named Elijah Sullivan. And then we also signed a wide receiver at a UAB, Austin Watkins, and that's Sammy Watkins' cousin. So, yeah, Sammy Watkins, he's been a good receiver when healthy, good possession receiver. So we'll see what his cousin, Sammy Watkins' cousin, that is, Austin Watkins. We'll see what he does once he comes into camp and starts to compete. Looks like Redder says, did you hear Vikings drafted Texas A&M quarterback Kellen Mond in the 3rd? I don't know if they believe in Cousins. Sorry for off topic. No, it's all good, man. I appreciate the question, and I love talking about all the NFL, not just the ready, go. But yeah, I heard about that. I don't think this means they don't believe in Cousins. I just think, every player is literally like one play away. There is no, I mean, it's pretty rare that, the average NFL career is only like 3 years. So everyone's literally like one hit away from a career-ending injury. So you always have to have depth at multiple positions. You always have to have competition at positions, that makes people stronger, that makes people better. And yeah, Kirk Cousins, obviously he's got the big lucrative contract, but it's always good to have young talent come in and learn from the established veterans. So that's always a good signing. It looks like CG likes this trade, or excuse me, likes the draft pick of Kellen Mond. CG says Mond will succeed in Minnesota once Cousins is gone. Okay. And it looks like CG believes Mond will be like Dak Prescott. And Dak Prescott, he's a solid quarterback. And CG says Kyle Trask is in a great situation. Wonder how long Brady will play. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, that was a good move by the Buccaneers. They got a rookie quarterback, could be under team control for at least 3 to 4 years. He can learn under Brady, and most likely Brady will retire. In the next 2 years, 3 years. You think? I guess we'll see. But uh, that's a great situation for Trask. He gets to stay in Florida, and he gets to learn from one of the best quarterbacks to ever do it. Looks like Redder here isn't a fan of Kyle Trask. uh, CG gives a 49ers draft a grade of A minus. All right. I respect that. CG says he believes we addressed everything. I think Austin Watkins can be a great pickup undrafted. Hardly drop a pass. Very capable receiver who can replace KB. I'm not sure about Jalen Hurts staying healthy. I know, and that's the thing. Uh, I just don't know what to expect from Hurd and Jennings. They've been hurt the last few years. But yeah, hopefully Austin Watkins can come in, compete, and possibly get on the 53-man roster. Let's see. Tommy says, yes, we did sign a linebacker. Yep, we did. We did sign an undrafted free agent linebacker. I think we drafted two. Looks like Redder says Bengals signed a quarterback from South Carolina named Colin Hill, and he got benched at South Carolina. Hey, happens to the best of us, man. See, CG says I was mad about the Asante Samuel Jr. pick. I was lit. Video says it all. Yeah, I know, man. I saw your video. Yeah, I was surprised, because that was an area of need, but clearly the 49ers didn't think that highly of Asante Samuel being picked that high. Clearly they valued strengthening the trenches, getting an offensive lineman, to help Jimmy in pass blocking, and also creating holes for the running game. So looks like Redder says, I think Newton will start for the beginning, but then play like trash and Matt comes in. We'll see. I mean, we'll see. Cam Newton, he got some weapons now, baby. They actually surrounded Cam with some talent this year. He's got two new tight ends with Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith. He got Nelson Aguilar. Nelson Aguilar was the best receiver on the Raiders last season. He balled out. They got Kendrick Bourne. We know what KB could do. So yeah, I'm intrigued by the Patriots. And they're also getting some players that opt out last year due to COVID. They're getting some players back on the team. So we could see a revamped Patriots team. Harden 54. What's good? Thanks for coming through to the stream. And it looks like they say national media, Mel Kiper especially, he was so upset that his number 3 pick did not come to fruition. Yeah, Mel Kiper, he's a supposed draft guru. And, his pick definitely did not come true. So that was funny. Because, I mean, the sources weren't legit. It was all just to get clicks. Shane, what's good? Thanks for coming through to the stream. He says, hey, Jay, how about Trey? I'm so pumped. Yeah, I was so thrilled that, the pick was Trey Lance. He's got a bright future ahead of him. I just can't wait to see him play. I can't wait for the preseason, and hopefully he does get some run in the regular season at quarterback. I do expect him to learn the playbook behind Jimmy G, pick Jimmy G's brain. But yeah, I'm so pumped for Trey Lance, and I can't wait. Let's see. Damian says, cut either Rosen or Sudfeld. Yeah, I don't think Shanahan, when the regular season starts, we'll probably keep 3 quarterbacks. So you got to figure it's Jimmy, Trey Lance, and then, whoever is the best between Rosen, Sudfeld, and Johnson. They'll probably be on the 53-man roster, and then they'll have a quarterback on the practice squad. That's what I would expect. Looks like Tommy says he thinks Mon could be a great quarterback. Okay, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. He had a pretty good career with Texas A&M, and Minnesota does have weapons on both sides of the ball, so we'll see what happens. Tommy says Redder definitely. I think Mac Salad could beat out Dookie Newton. I guess we'll see. Wyatt, what's good? Thanks for coming through to the stream. Najee, the next best thing. Yeah, I think the Steelers definitely got their bell cow running back of the future. I had a feeling they were going to pick running back, and Najee was the first running back off the board, I believe. I'm trying to think. I think Najee was the first running back off the board, and I had a feeling the Pittsburgh Steelers would definitely pick him up. And I had a question at the bottom of the screen: Jimmy Garoppolo staying with the team this year? If I had my druthers, Jimmy G would start game 1. And as long as he stays healthy and the team is successful, we have a winning record, Jimmy G plays the whole year. He balls out. And then in the offseason, we'll see what offers come in for him. But the value of Jimmy G right now is low. It doesn't make any sense to trade him. And if we did trade Jimmy G, who would be the starter? I mean, would you guys be comfortable with Trey Lance starting right now? I still feel like we're a contending team. And most of the time on contending teams, rookie quarterbacks don't start. That's usually the case. If this was the Cincinnati Bengals or Jacksonville Jaguars, yeah, go ahead, throw the rookie quarterback in. The expectations aren't high, but I think Jimmy G should be the starter. Shane says Trey will fit in perfect. Yeah, I'm very excited to see Trey in this offense. There were rumors that, Shanahan only used a quarter of the playbook with Jimmy G in because, he felt Jimmy G was limited. But, the possibilities are endless with Trey Lance. And I can't wait to see how Shanahan uses him, and I can't wait to see him in preseason and when the regular season starts. And I can't wait for that. And I appreciate everyone coming on tonight. I appreciate all you guys liking the video, subscribing to Jay and the Bay, and following me on IG and Twitter. I appreciate all the love. Now, my surprise non-pick of the draft was, of course, the wide receiver position. I definitely felt like we should have got a wide receiver in this draft. And I definitely was surprised that we traded down when we could have got a corner. But I understand they wanted to strengthen the trenches, and I respect that. And I'm sure you guys heard about the 49ers' latest news that we signed 4 undrafted free agents, 1 wide receiver, 2 linebackers, and a tight end. And it's good to see the Niners still making moves. Looks like Tommy says, watch out for the Broncos. They had a great draft day. They took my favorite running back, the Soul Snatcher. All right. Yeah, and I was surprised. The Broncos made a trade for Teddy Bridgewater. Broncos only had to give up a 6th-round pick for Teddy B. And I was kind of surprised that they didn't, they were at 9. They could have drafted, they picked Pat Surtain, but I was surprised they didn't go after a quarterback. They could have had Justin Fields or, Mac Jones. So 49ers Ultimate Report, John J. What's good? Thanks for coming through to the stream. He says Jimmy G is still alive. That's right. I don't know how you guys feel, but I wouldn't be comfortable with Trey Lance starting the regular season. The speed of the game is different. You got to read defenses. Everything's different in the NFL. Everything's sped up. And why not rely on a veteran quarterback, at least for the first month? I mean, if Jimmy G comes in, the team is 0-4, we're playing poorly, seems like the season's over, and you need to switch things up, then yeah, go with Trey Lance. But I expect Jimmy G to ball out this year based on the team being significantly better, based on the free agent signings, based upon the players we've drafted. And, I can't wait. Let me know if you guys have any more questions for me. Looks like Tommy says, John Jacob, Jamie Heimeyer Smith in the house. That's right. But yeah, I appreciate everyone coming on. I just wanted to talk about the draft. I'm so glad we got Trey Lance. And looks like everyone pretty much gave the 49ers a like an A plus grade or A grade in the draft. Or at least a B. I think Shanahan Lynch did an excellent job. They addressed all of our needs, for the most part. And we just got to get that wide receiver position. Tommy says Lance is the next Steve Young. All right. That's definitely something to aspire to. That'd be nice if he could have a career like Steve Young. That'd be amazing. But yeah, I appreciate everyone coming on. Appreciate everyone subscribing to your boy, Jay in the Bay, on YouTube, IG, Twitter. I appreciate it. Now that the draft is over, I'm still going to be updating, still be making videos, YouTube videos on, 49ers latest news, still be doing live streaming. I'm at least try to live stream at least once or twice a week, depending upon, the 49ers news that's coming up. I think there's an important date coming up in May. Let's see. Oh, yeah. So Wednesday, May 12th, the 49ers schedule is finalized. So that's definitely an important day to look out in the month of May. So that's definitely something to look forward to look at who the 49ers will be playing. Let me know in the comment section. Do you guys plan on going to any NFL games this year? Let me know in them comments. It would be nice to go to a 49er game this year. Probably not likely. Maybe I'll wait till next year, maybe when Trey is starting, but we'll see. But yeah, let me know if you guys plan on going to any 49er games this year. I wonder if there'll even be 100% capacity at the stadium. I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But yeah, I enjoyed the draft. I wish I could have live streamed every day, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, but I had to work. But, that was definitely exciting. And the draft is going to be, can you guys guess it? The draft next year is going to be in Sin City, Las Vegas, baby. So I can't wait for that. That would be nice to go out to Vegas for the draft. I mean, I know it's just a draft. I mean, it may not be that exciting. And next year, we don't even have a first round pick, but that's going to be pretty exciting that the draft's going to be in Vegas. I can't wait till the Super Bowl's in Vegas. That's going to be dope. And also, I can't wait till the Niners play the Raiders in Vegas. Definitely got to go to that game. So, but yeah, I appreciate everyone conversing with your boy Jay in the Bay. And hopefully everyone has a great Sunday night. And hopefully you have a great work week. And thanks for tuning in to Jay in the Bay. And I'll see you guys in the next one real soon. Peace out.